Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Shaun Tamane. Welcome to Politics with Shaun Tamane. So our particular focus today is on an assignment topic, which I received from one of the learners. It says, identify and analyze the implications of social exclusions on development. Use relevant examples to support your assertions. An interesting assignment topic. So the first thing that I did here was to look at the word identify. So the most important question that we need to ask ourselves is, what is social exclusion? As defined here, social exclusion, broadly defined, that is, it encompasses various forms of marginalization that prevent individuals or groups from fully participating in society. Now, one important area to consider is that we need to look at different dimensions. We need to look at the economic, meaning poverty or lack of employment. We need to look at the social, encompassing discrimination, lack of social networks. And we need to look at the political, particularly lack of political voice and participation. And spatial, we need to look at living in marginalized areas. So the first thing, or the second thing rather, to do is to analyze implications for development. The first one that we have here is the economic implications. What do I mean by that? We need to look at the reduced productivity and economic growth due to limited human capital development. Also, we need to look at increased inequality and poverty, as well as limited market access and entrepreneurial opportunities for excluded groups. We need to look at the social implications. First, increased social unrest, crime, and violence. We need to look at the weakening of social cohesion and community solidarity, as well as negative impacts on mental and physical health, and intergenerational transmission of poverty and disadvantage. Also, we should consider the political implications, in which we'll look at the erosion of social trust and legitimacy of political institutions, as well as increased political instability and social unrest, and limited participation in democratic processes. Now, there's an important area on the assignment question where it says you should use relevant examples to support your assertions. So we will look at concrete examples to support our analysis. The most important thing to do is you need to identify certain case studies which would support the assertions that you make throughout your assignment. You could have the first case study, which will analyze how specific forms of social cohesion, e.g. gender discrimination, racial segregation, and caste system, have hindered development in particular countries or region. You would have the second case study, which examines how government policies or social programs have either exacerbated or mitigated social exclusion and its impact on development. Now, you need to consider diverse contexts in which you would explore examples from different regions of the world, including both developed and developing countries. So you would consider the third world countries and the first world countries, meaning that when you do have these case studies, focus on one country in the continent of Africa and another country, perhaps in Europe, or the Western world. Now, here's an important aspect, the key considerations. You need to have interconnectedness, where you emphasize the interconnected nature rather of social exclusion and development. How does one impact the other in a cyclical manner? You need to have data and evidence. Support your arguments with data, statistics, and research findings from credible sources, academic journals, international organizations, and government reports. That forms part of an important aspect of your assignment, which are your references. Now you need to have a critical analysis, or make a critical analysis of your approach. Go beyond simply describing the problem. Analyze the underlying causes of social exclusion and critically evaluate different approaches to addressing it. Now, it is important to be careful of addressing these points in that manner so that you can effectively analyze the implications of social exclusion on development and demonstrate your understanding of this complex issue. So I've attempted to create notes, particularly in that.
Let's go.
So